Season's greetings and happy holidays, everybody. I'm Lazy Universe, your master education and nerdy, and today on this channel where I just nerd out and geek out about stuff, I'm gonna nerd out about one of my favorite superheroes of all time, Spider-Man, and why I basically love the essential of this character. And even still to this day, I can still look at Spider-Man played by any one of the actors who've done him and go, yeah, that's me. Spider-Man was created in 1963, if I'm correct. He was created by Stan Lee and Steve Ditko. Ditko gave birth to the character, essentially according to Stan Lee, because Stan Lee only created the idea behind Spider-Man. Stan Lee wanted to create a teenage superhero just to give it a real-world feel to the children out there who might be going through the same thing. He basically is an orphan. He has his aunt and uncle who were raising him. He had a job problem, he had relationship problems, and he's essentially trying to save the world too before it blows up, essentially. And his publisher, Martin Goodman, said, absolutely not. You cannot have a teenage superhero. You just can't do this. Absolutely not. So Dan went and worked on the other superheroes, but eventually went back to Spider-Man. And according to what I understand, he did this behind Martin Goodman's back, but when Martin Goodman saw the sales figures, he was very surprised, and he was like, hey Stan, remember that Spider-Man character that we love so much? So Martin eventually had a change of heart, and, that was for the better. Spider-Man had become a cult icon now, where you can just say his name and somebody instantly will be like, oh yeah, he had a lot of different comics, a lot of different runs, and completely a lot of different things. So, why do I love this character so much? Well, essentially, his character. There's been a lot of great writers on Spider-Man who really wrote and personified his character. This is a man who basically goes through almost everything. And in issue 31 of one of the Spider-Man run, I think it was just Spider-Man, that's when 9/11 went down, and I have a special feature on my Spider-Man DVD where they were talking about watching it and then going back to the story and watching the television at the same time that this is happening, so they're keeping updated, and they said it was very hard, but they did it in the meantime. So that's pretty difficult, and that can be pretty challenging to do. But they did it, and they really made a teenage superhero do everything you can to save people. But there's not only just that reason, there's also the big reason that Peter is a nerd. He's being bullied constantly, but yet his life still comes to a point where he can actually be happy. And that would mean constantly in high school, constantly in middle school, even my senior year, nothing but bullying, nothing but hard on me, nothing but stressful. But there were moments I could look upon that were the happy moments, but they were only short-lived back then. And then there was more pain and more everything. And I eventually, I put up with it, but it was still very difficult to do for a man of my stature. And still, I hardly wanted to go to school, but I did it, and I graduated because of those reasons. But no matter how bad that bullying can get, as I did, I just shrugged it off, and I just went with it. It's kind of funny because I still get bullied, and I still get harassed even still to this day. So, why? Your guess is as good as mine, and I have no idea why. And in my opinion, bullying is ugly, it's stupid, it's repetitive, and no one should have to go through with it. No one should have to suffer through it. But everybody does what they want to do, and there's nothing that we can do to, stop them. But the Wallcrawler is one of my favorite characters because actually, when I read him, I saw myself as him as a young kid. And as Stanley said, you could be anybody and inside a spider suit, which I guess which I guess Brian Michael Bendis took to the idea when he created Miles Morales. So, there you go. But anyway, Spider-Man has been a wild and successful character, even still to this day, having a successful run of comics, having a successful merchandise run, having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, having 7 successful movies plus 2 tie-in movies. He had successful cartoons, successful video games, everything is successful for this guy. And he is by far the best of the best when it comes to Marvel superheroes. I'm so interested to read Kamala Khan as well because I hear that there is some really good stuff that came out of Kamala, or Kamala, however you want to pronounce it. I hope I'm not pronouncing it wrong. And I really want to check out Kamala Khan stuff so I can read what she, essentially went through, been through, and everything. In fact, at being a popular icon as she is, just as much as Spider-Man is, I'd like to see what kind of stuff that she went through. And even she's a teenage girl, even though she is, she's from the Middle East, she has a lot of different things happen to her because of her character. I do think that there's like some connection there that maybe her and I could basically essentially have, because I can relate to a lot of young characters created in Marvel, and I think that's because Marvel writers, some of them, not all of them, some of them, know how to really identify who's this character, what they're doing, and how they go through life and their differences. And I think that's what made me fall in love with most of Marvel characters compared to DC, because DC, I only have a few favorite characters. Marvel, I have like an essential big variety flavor. So, I'm just astoundingly interested to see where Spider-Man goes. I know that right now it's basically Miles Morales, and they did a flashback thing essentially for Spider-Man. I'm still completely interested to see where Peter Parker could go next. I've read one amazing story of Spider-Man, but I'm saving that until Halloween of next year. Essentially because, in my opinion, it technically is a horror story, so be prepared for that. And written by J.J. Abrams, of all people. Yes, you heard me right. J.J. Abrams wrote a Spider-Man story, so be prepared to see that coming up next Halloween. So anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it at that. But tell me, because I'm interested, why do you love Spider-Man? Why do you love this character of Spider-Man so much? You can tell me in the comment section down below. You can say anything. It doesn't have to be Spider-Man. It could be Spider-Gwen, Spider-Ham. It could be any essential Spider-Man. If you're wondering what favorite costume of mine is for Spider-Man, I have to go with the Miles Morales look. It's essentially my most favorite Spider costume of all time. And at number 2, it'd have to be Spider-Man 2099. I love both of these costumes. They're really different and really cool, and I just love them to pieces, So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. You can check out some more other videos that I have at the end of the screen here. Be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to, and if you see what you like, also press that bell icon so you can keep updated with all my videos in case that maybe like you're missing a few of them or whatnot. So be sure to like and to comment. You can also follow me at Twitter with the link in the description below. That is where you can see like behind the scenes stuff, what I'm going to be working on, and secret projects in the meantime. So thank you guys so much for watching. For more geeky and nerdy, stay tuned. I'll see you next time.